Hello, how are you
Uh,
doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. So, at first, can you please introduce yourself?
My name is FELIN, and I'm competing in Eesti Laul with my song Solo Anthem.
Yes, and you're the president of your own fan club, and I'm
Yeah.
definitely in this fan club.
Thank you.
So, why did you decide to take part in Eesti Laul instead of Uuden musiikin kilpailu since you are from Finland?
Well, for me, it's basically I grew up in Finland, and then now I live in Stockholm. I lived in LA for a while. So for me, music is like, and I think Eurovision as well is about bringing people together, and it's about like coming through get together through music. And why Estilal was because, well, I've always loved Eurovision, and then we wrote this song at a songwriting camp in Stockholm where there were like songwriters from Stockholm and from Helsinki and from Tallinn and then we ended up writing this song, and since Gavin, who's part of writing the song, is from Estonia, we were like, oh, let's send it in, and then now we're in the competition. So yeah,
And you also participated in UMK, as I
yeah.
remember. Yeah, and how was it and how is it to compare with Eesti Laul?
I don't know yet because I haven't like performed in the final yet, but yeah, I participated in Finland in that's many years ago now, and it was with a band I was part of then. So I think for me it's a difference, not just like because it's a different country, but also because like now I'm competing like as a solo artist with like my own song, and then I was part of a band, and so I think, and also it's been a while since I did that, and I've grown much as a musician and as an artist since then. So I think it was really fun when we were in UMK, but I think it will be even more fun now because I think I'm like I've been doing this for a lot longer, so I think I can, enjoy it more and not be so nervous or whatever and just have a good time.
Yes, of course. So you create rock music, yes,
Yeah.
and you are from Finland, and Finnish people actually really love rock music, as I see. And why Finnish people love rock so much?
Oh, tough question. But I think maybe it's because like, well, here in Scandinavia and like it's so dark in the winter, and I think like we need like there's so much, like darkness, and we need some kind of like way to get our like the depression and rage out or something. I think that's why, like, not only rock music, I think that's why so many people in Scandinavia create music, because like there's nothing to do like in the winter than to sit in your studio and just create. Um, but why Finland loved rock music so much, I don't know. But it's also like, yeah, the one time Finland won Eurovision was with a rock song. So maybe it's, yeah, I don't I'm not sure of like why do Finns love rock so much?
Okay, so you also performed in many different places, and you performed in Antarctica, yes?
Hmm.
And how
Yes.
was it? Didn't you get cold or something?
Yeah, the actual show was on a boat, so that it was warm, but it was like kind of like there were waves and a little bit like, okay, what's happening? But I thought it was like Antarctica is like the coolest place I've been to. It's like it feels like another planet basically. It's so amazing there.
So you also were in the United States, and how this happened that you went to the USA, the US?
Well, like I said, I grew up in Finland and had my band there. And then when I was 16, I moved to Stockholm to participate in Swedish Idol. And I did that. And basically, after that, because that was like the first time I had been in the band before, and then in Idol, you sing other people's songs. So I kind of also wanted to figure out like, what kind of music do I want to make? And so I moved to LA to study music. And then So I went there to study music, and then I ended up staying longer and like starting to write for other people, and became a songwriter and producer. And yeah, so that's like, and I feel like both Stockholm and LA are like music capitals of the world somehow. So I think that's what I've always, like had this longing for, like, oh, I want to explore more of the world. I want to like see what can happen if I move there or if I do this. And I love adventures. So I think that's why I decided to move to LA at such a young age already.
Yes. So how did your career, your journey with music started?
Uh, well, I've always loved music. I don't really remember like when I started started to like music, but I've always been singing for as long as I can remember. Like as soon as I started talking, I was like singing about everything. But then I started playing piano when I was 8 years old. And then at 11, I started my first band. I grew up in like a really small village in Finland, so there wasn't really much to do. If you didn't like play any sport or something, then you had to kind of figure out like, okay, let's start a band. So we started rehearsing in my parents' basement, and then that band then grew, and we toured in Finland and were part of UMK, and and then after that, as soon as I was like finished with school, I moved to Stockholm to take part in Swedish Idol.
Great that this band even existed by so much time, because you were 11 when you
Yeah.
started. And yeah, so
Yeah.
who inspired you? Did you have some role model in music?
Well, I think like one of my first like inspirations came from like I remember my dad showed me these like music videos of Blondie and like Debbie Harry, and I loved like the whole like vibe of that, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. Like so I think that's where like then my dream was like I want to also move to New York and play at CBGB's and all that. And then so I think that's where were my first inspirations. But then of course like I grew up during, well, I make pop punk music now, and I grew up during like the golden era of like pop punk with like Paramore and Avril Lavigne and all those. So of course that inspired me a lot as well.
So how did you find out that you will participate in Eesti Laul, and how did you react to that information?
Well, I found out because like Gavin, who I wrote the song with, he just like texted me and was like, "Congrats, we're in the competition." And I was like, "What?" Like I went to check my emails. I'm like, I didn't see anything about like, and then I was like, okay, maybe I should Google it. So I found out at the same time, or even later than everyone else found out that we were actually part of the competition. So I was very shocked because I thought that I would hear something from like someone before that they were gonna announce it. But I was really happy, and it all went from like 0 to 100 real quick because we had to like, okay, we need to finish the song, we need to make the music video, we need to start preparing for the performance. So it's been a busy time, but a really fun time since I found out.
So you have to do many things for Eesti Laul, as you said, the music video, the better version, let's say, of your song. And did the Estonian television help you, or you do it with your own like sources, your own money, and
The video and the song, that's been like completely on, like they haven't we got to decide and we got to create that ourselves. So that's on like the artists to create what they want to create. And then for the performance, we'll like start soon talking with the production in Estonia and see what we can come up with, like what ideas we have and what thoughts they have, and then we'll start creating the performance from there.
So what is my solo anthem about?
My solo anthem, it's basically a song about being your own biggest fan. Like it's about believing in yourself, like sometimes it feels like the world might be against you and nothing is going your way, but you always have to keep believing in yourself, and you need to keep pushing forward, to just like keep on dreaming, keep on creating. And I wrote this song at a time when I was kind of feeling a bit low on energy myself, and I wasn't like so cheering myself, and I wanted to kind of create a pep song to get my energy back, like a pep song that I can just like, okay, scream my heart out, and this is my anthem. This is like when I listen to it, I feel like, okay, I can do this. Like I'm great at what I do, and I think that's what I want people to feel when they listen to it, that they can also scream their heart out, and sometimes the only person you need is yourself, basically.
Yes, the chorus is really catchy, the scream my heart out phrase, and also it gives me like vibes of the movies for teenagers from early 2000s, like Hannah Montana, for example, and you know.
Mm.
So what can you expect from you at Eesti Laul?
A lot of energy. It's gonna be. I love performing. It's basically like why I started doing music in the first place is because I love to be on stage. So I'm gonna try to create the best performance possible. I'm gonna bring my band on stage as well, but it's not gonna be just like a band performance. There's gonna be like I want to create a Eurovision worthy number for the song. So that's what I hope will happen.
Will the same band which you are since you're 11 be with you on the stage?
No, it's new people. They're amazing. So it's gonna be yeah, we had a first rehearsal actually yesterday, and it feels great. So I think it's gonna be a great performance.
So what is your favorite Eurovision entry from Finland?
Wow. Well, I think if in recent years, I think I have to say Cha Cha Cha, because it was just like such a catchy song, and I still sing it on karaoke. I love karaoke, so it's a song that I sing often on karaoke. And then of course I have to say Lordi as well because they won. So I think it's a tie between those two.
Yeah, and Cha 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 is even still popular. Did you watch Eesti Laul last year?
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole show at that time, but I've watched it now later and seen all the performances and everything. So,
Okay, so you know like freshly the performances. So who was your favorite?
oof, who was my favorite? That's a hard question. Who do I have to decide? Oh, I don't know. I think there were a lot of great performances. So I'm not gonna decide who was best.
And can you say something like this about UMK last year? Who was your favorite in UMK? Did you have some favorites?
Oh, I watched it, but I'm not sure if I like had a favorite at that point. But apart from like the competition, I think like also because I could do kind of the same music, like I like Cyan Kicks a lot. I think they are great. But a favorite from the final, I'm not sure if I can pick one.
All right, okay. So thank you so much for this interview and good luck in Eesti Laul.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.